Hey, and we are live at last.
Yippee!
We told everybody this was going to be 9:30, and here we are at 9:50. But things don't always work out as you want them to, do they?
Nope, not
No.
at all.
Anyway, even at 9:50, I think we're still pushing it to talk about how to look and feel fabulous. 9:30 on a Monday morning. 9:50 is just as bad.
Yeah.
Apologies for that, but we can feel good, can't we, in lots of different ways. And from my point of view, I'm Sally Inkster, and I talk about everything personal brand. And personal brand is who you are, what you stand for, and how you help. That then has to be used as a foundation before you meet somebody as wonderful as Anne, who is a brand photographer. So, Anne, hello, and thank you for coming on. We came up with a new word this morning when we were having things go mightily wrong, and we were trying to think of a title, and we came up with the word photographied. We don't
Yes.
think it's a word, but we quite like it. So feeling fab even when you are being photographied.
Yes.
And that's what you do, isn't it, Anne?
Yeah.
Yep. So we met how many years ago?
Oh gosh, maybe it was pre-COVID, wasn't it?
It
Maybe
was.
4 or 5 years ago,
Yeah.
if not more. Yeah.
Exactly. And so we've stayed in touch because
Yeah.
you understand, like I do, that you have to be real for
Yeah.
your personal brand, and you have the ability to show people as being real. So just tell us a bit what feeling fab means to you, both for your work and I know your personal life, what you do to make you feel fab.
So I think I don't know, I guess it kind of means different things for different people, doesn't it? For me personally, I feel my most fabulous, believe it or not at this time in the morning on a Monday.
No. I don't think anybody does.
No. This probably isn't my best time, but I feel most fabulous when I've just done a workout in the gym, believe it or not. And I know, everybody talks about that, the endorphins and how it makes you feel. But that is when I feel my best. I don't look great, but you have to take my word on that bit. But for me, it's all about the inside. It's all about what's going on inside, which is why I go to the gym. It's why I do CrossFit and all the rest of it. Because I just think if you can get the inside right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then it kind of, over time, it kind of oozes out on the outside. Does that make sense?
It does. What's inside projects outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, people may be a little confused, Anne, because normally they see pictures of you upside down, do they not?
Yeah, so I'm on a handstand challenge at the moment. So I've accepted a challenge to do a handstand every day for an entire year. I'm on day 205, so I have done 205 handstands so far. So yeah, that's just part of my wacky fitness journey, I guess,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I mean, the thing is, we get to a certain age, don't you? You and I are sort of 60 plus. Yeah. But the thing is, I think both of us probably feel more fabulous than we have done at various stages in our past. I mean, when we're bringing up children and we are, we lose that mojo, don't we? We get to a certain age and we just feel shattered and as if overwhelmed because there's so much we're meant to be doing. Families, husbands, wives, children, friends, everything. And we forget about us. I think then you can get to an age where perhaps you start rethinking about yourself, especially if you're in business. When you're trying to run a business, your energy, exactly as you were talking about, has to be on the inside for it to come out and be visible for other people. That's what personal brand is. It's your personal energy, your personal stories, and you show that. So explain to us what you did, how you became a photographer, what your history is, and how people on the whole, you speak to women and go, you need some photographs. And they go, no, I don't like being photographed. I hate it. I always look awful. I feel dreadful. So what would you say to them when they come to you going, no?
Yeah, so 9 times out of 10, that is the response I get one way or the other. Okay. Yeah. So I guess my job is to make you feel comfortable. Okay. From a very selfish point of view, I need you to feel totally, utterly chilled on the day of the shoot. Okay. Because if you're not, it's going to be all over your face. It will be all over your face, you know, because if you're not chilled and relaxed, then we're just not going to get the photos that you need. So for me, it starts on that very first discovery call that I have with a client, you know. So a client will say, oh, you know, can we get on a call and just talk about some photos? I need to update my website, blah, blah, blah. We get on that call. And I make a point of listening. So I'm a very good listener, and I make a real conscious effort to just shut up and listen. Okay. Because we need to, well, you know, people, I guess you're the same as well. We have to remember this isn't about us. This is about, this is about the person that we're having a conversation with. Okay. So I make a point of listening, and I have key questions that I ask, which, reading in between the lines, the way they answer that question tells me a lot. Okay. So for me, it starts on that very, very first call. Once the client has booked the personal branding shoot, and of course we've gone through the whole, but you know, you need to know I don't like having my photos taken, or you know, they might say, I've got a birthmark on the side of my face that I'm really, you know, self-conscious of, and I don't want that to be in the photo. So once we've kind of jumped over all of the objections to having the photos taken, what we do then, we have quite an in-depth process of planning the shoot. Okay, so I'm not the photographer who organizes a date and a venue and then I just rock up with my camera. Okay, because I mean, I can do that, and that is the easy option, by the way.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that if you and I did that, then your photos are going to look like everybody else's out there on LinkedIn and Instagram. Okay. So there's quite an in-depth kind of journey where I am digging a little bit into your story, because, you know, if we're going to get these photos that are going to truly reflect you and your brand and your story and all the rest of it, so that they will attract your dream client. Yeah. Then I've got to know your story and what you stand for and your values.
Yeah. And also when I'm working with personal brand, doing those things so they can come to you with that, I don't want them to have pretty good looking pictures of themselves, which is often what people want. They want themselves to look nice. Yeah. But in actual fact, do your clients want you to look perfect? No, they don't. They want to see you go, you know, I'm having a bad day, or, but, you know, they want to see that story coming out of you, not, oh, isn't she gorgeous? Doesn't she look good? Yeah. That's not the essence of brand photos. Yeah. Brand photos are who you really are, as we said, on the outside being projected out. You know, yes, it's not all about those headshots. May be a bit different. You know, you want to look put together, but sometimes a brand photography can be very untogether, because the message you're trying to put out is, I know you're feeling confused. I know you're feeling screamed and overwhelmed. I get that. Yeah. And that's what you're trying to portray to your clients. Not that you're this serene person with a lovely smile and everything perfectly in order. Great photo, but that's not the brand.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think what I'd like to say here is that is where digging into our client's story comes in and enables me, with the help of you, to be able to portray that. Now, let's not fool ourselves. We all want to look flipping amazing in our photos. Let's not avoid that, because when we're having our photo taken, no matter where it is, even if we're just doing, I mean, how many selfies do I take of me before I'm happy with the one that I will? I mean, I'm no different to anybody else, honestly. But let's not avoid that. We all want to look amazing in our photos. So from that aspect, that's when a makeup artist can be introduced. I have a couple of makeup artists who I work with. Oh my goodness, they are worth their weight in gold, and they don't make you look, I don't know,
over the top.
Yes, they absolutely don't make you look over the top. With a makeup artist, they know exactly what they're doing, and they know that they're doing this either for film or camera, and so the makeup has to be like extra kind of put on,
Which is why our selfies always look so bad, isn't it? Because we've got the extra makeup on.
Yes. And although you're sitting there and you might be thinking, oh my God, that's a heck of a lot of foundation she's just put on me, it doesn't come across like that in the photos. So I really do recommend having a makeup artist involved as well, because I almost think they can be the icing on the cake. You've done all this work up front. You've done all the work with you to understand what your brand is, who you are, what your values are, etc., etc. You then move on and you come to me and we plan your shoot. We know exactly where the locations are going to be. We know exactly what your messaging is, so that which shots we need to make sure we get. And then I think, the icing on the cake is the makeup artist, the outfits that we're going to plan for your shoot as well, because that's another thing is which I guess kind of ties in with wanting to look and feel fabulous, but making sure that the different outfit changes that we have reflect the messaging that we want to get across.
And, when somebody comes and works with me, along with all the psychological bits that we do, I was a stylist for 12 years. So for me, finding the right colours that they're going to be wearing and the right shape of collar, because a lot of times, with photos, there's not all of you, but trying to find what the right thing for your neckline, for the length of the jumpers, for however it works.
Yeah.
So that they've got it nailed down, because you've got to put on your outfit and feel great in it. You don't want to feel uncomfortable in it, because, as you say, that comes over, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The outfits that you wear, I mean, I've had to, we've done brand photography together, and I've been down. I mean, it's like bringing a wardrobe, But we need them to be, if you wear a jacket, you can take the jacket off, you can put the jacket on, you can have different looks, can't you?
Yeah.
But a big part of it is being comfortable and feeling good in what you're wearing, and the colours too.
Yeah.
These are my brand colours. If I wore something that didn't tone with my brand colours, it wouldn't be good, would it? I mean, it just looked off. Yeah. So I think that's really important, a really important point. Thank you for bringing that one up.
Yeah, the other thing I find with, let's call it a journey, I can't think of another word, but when we have that discovery call, I make sure that I'm doing more listening than talking, so that I can get a really good feel. And then, of course, we kind of go on that journey, so that, honestly, as kind of cliche as this sounds, but the time the shoot day comes itself, and that's not a huge amount of time. But when we both rock up at the venue where we're going to do the shoot, sometimes that is the first time that we have met face to face. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is actually what happened with you and I.
It is.
And by the time we get to that stage, it's almost like it's almost like we're just friends now, because we've done so much planning together. We've had so many conversations about where the shoot's going to take place. Do we need to bring in sort of pretend clients to have those kind of shots? By the time we've got to the stage of the actual shoot day itself, we kind of know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
And for me, that also helps relax and makes the client feel fabulous with all of the little other puzzle pieces that we've put in place to get to the shoot day itself.
Yeah. And it is really, I mean, we did actually meet just before COVID because you did some virtual photography with me.
Yes.
And because you had to say, right, Sally, in your wardrobe, do you have this? In your store cupboard, do you have this? I mean, you got to know me and my house very intimately, really.
I did, yeah.
And then when we did get to meet, that, you know, it was like everybody when you've met online and then you suddenly meet, you know, in person, you do know them. It is lovely. And
it's weird though. Yeah, it's weird, but yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but the two of us, I think, what one tip would you give somebody who's thinking about having a photographied session or being photographied?
Yeah. So I think the one tip is, do you know what? Just do it, because your clients, your audience, your dream clients are out there waiting for you. And do you know what? They couldn't give a hoot that you've put on half a stone. They couldn't give a hoot that you're growing your grey out. You're what's that word? That you're transitioning to going grey. They couldn't give a hoot that you're not feeling great at the moment because you've just put on this weight, or you don't think you photograph well. Do you know what? Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, your potential clients want to see the real you.
Yeah.
They don't want to see an AI version, which is a completely different kettle of fish, isn't it? But AI is scarily what it can do to us. Your clients want to see you. And that's what you do. You make people feel fabulous through being them. I allow people to get to the stage where they can understand. They have to use their instinct to get back to who they are, because we all forget, you know, we were who we were when we were children. And then over the years, people have knocked it out of us. So our time is up. But thank you so much for joining me at a ridiculous early time on a Monday morning to talk about looking and feeling fabulous. Anyway, it was fun. And I'm sure we will do this again. So goodbye for now. And
thank you,
take care. Bye. Bye. Bye.